Yes. In the past sessions, we have discussed different sutras of Sadhana Pada. Today we will try to go through all of them one by one. From the first sutra, we concluded at 11th, 10th and 11th. So we will just have a revision of all those quickly and we will go for the chanting of Sadhana Pada. Atha Sadhana Padaha Tapaha Swadhyaya Ishvara Pranidhanani Kriya Yogaha Samadhi Bhavanarthaha Kleshatanu Karnarthascha Avidya Asmita Raga Desha Abhiniveshaha Pancha Kleshaha Avidya Kshetramuttaresham Prasupta Tanu Vicchinno Dharanam Anitya Ashuchi Kaha Anatmasu Nitya Shuchi Sukhatma Atirvidya Drigadarshana Shaktayor Ekatma Devasmita Sukhanushayi Ragaha Dukhanushayi Dveshaha Varasavahi Vidushopi Tatha Rudho Abhiniveshaha Te Prati Prasavaheyaha Sukshmaha Uttam. We discussed these sutras. In Raga, we saw Trishna and Lobha. Under Raga, which was the vritti giving birth to Raga? Trishna, desire, and Lobha. Not only desire, but different desires, one after the others under Raga. In 2.7, we talked about Dvesha. Under Dvesha, we saw 4 different stages. Which were these 4 stages? Krodha. What did we see in Krodha?
It's anger.
Anger. Yes. And what happens in anger? What kind of anger? Krodha?
We want to hurt people.
Yes, hurt people. Swaya और दूसरे का विनाश. Swaya और दूसरे का विनाश. And when you are angry, what does anger mean? As per Sage Patanjali, when you want to hurt yourself and the other person both, that thought, which is contained in the moment, is known as anger. Then we talked about jighansa. What was jighansa under dvesha? Jighansa,
Destroying
Destroy. Yeah.
destroying.
something I don't like, so I want to eliminate it.
Okay, jighansa has to do with killing.
Destroying,
No.
Killing.
killing.
Jighansa has to do with killing.
No,
Yes.
for,
Jighansa
I
is
remember
killing.
more it's about eliminating it from my life, so I go away from it or
Yeah.
I destroy the object.
I think
Jighansa.
it's
And then what is
some-
pratighata? What is pratighata? Jighansa, pratighata.
Vendetta.
Killing.
Vendetta.
Jighansa, pratighata. Shivangi ji, what is the difference between jighansa, pratighata? Can you recall? You're not audible to us.
Sorry, ma'am.
Jigyasa is you don't like enough that you want to hurt that person or destroy something. You are not so satisfied with your anger until you destroy something or you hurt them. And pratigata is it's the feeling इच्छा बाद में नाश करने की इच्छा.
Nash karne ki. We saw the example of the snake. If snake bites me, in that moment, I will not feel good until I kill the snake. So not only snake biting, but in pratighata, what do we see? Born out of dvesha. All these four. Pratighata, jighansa, krodha and manyuhu. What happens in manyuhu?
It's more at mental level. Mansik Dresh.
Do you do anything to other people in manyuhu, in dvesha?
No.
It is limited to
Yourself.
Self.
yourself. So manyuhu, jighansa, pratighata,
Krodha. Oh.
which are the four types of krodha? Sorry, raga,
Four are there, no?
raga, dvesha, both.
Jighansa,
Tell me raga first. How many raga?
3 ragas.
3.
3, no?
What are three raga? What is raga?
Liking.
Attachment.
Attachment. Trishna and lobha. Majorly under raga we see trishna and lobha. And under dvesha,
4. Manu. Pratighat. Jighansa.
krodha, manyu,
Krodha.
pratighata and jighansa.
Yeah.
Yes. Krodha, manyu. Manyu, your anger is there, you're not expressing. Krodha, in that moment of anger, you also destroy yourself and the other person. That means you speak it out. Yes. Then pratighata and jighansa. Pratighata, you remember we had taken the example, the boy who comes second in the class, the boy who comes first in the class. Yes,
Yes.
all of these are examples of dvesha. Then next to sutra, we talked about abhinivesha. In abhinivesha, what did we see?
It's the
Clinging
fear
with
of.
life. We saw that even the greatest of yogi, Vidwan also has one klesha. Which is that klesha? Abhinivesha, fear of death. जन्म जन्म से इतने बार वो संस्कार मृत्यु का दृढ़ हो चुका है कि जो विद्वान है उसमें भी मृत्यु के क्षण में क्या होता है? मृत्यु का भय होता है. जो विद्वान है, जो सर्वज्ञ है, जो ज्ञानी है, उसमें भी एक क्लेश मौजूद होता है. एक ही क्लेश है. The only klesha which is present even in the vidvana, which is sometimes seen also in the gyanis, greatest of people who study. What is that klesha? Abhinivesha, clinging to. And the rest of the kleshas are not. Then we discussed about a beautiful prakriya known as Chittalaya prakriya. What was the Chittalaya prakriya? What happens in Chittalaya?
Hold on what we have to say and think to what is linked as a
Mhm.
klesha.
सकल शब्दों को वाणी में ग्रहण कर लिया. Whatever you want to speak, what did you do? You
Hold it on, hold
arrested
it.
all those words on the tongue. फिर वाणी को मन में ग्रहण कर लिया. Whatever words were there on the tongue, you tried to see where is this coming from. These words, from which of these kleshas are they being born? फिर मन को कहाँ ग्रहण किया? बुद्धि में. Then you see the root of these thoughts further in which of the vrittis, and what happens with the buddhi?
Transform to pranama.
बुद्धि को अव्यक्त में ग्रहण किया. So what is the buddhi? Yes. What do you mean by avyakta? What is avyakta?
Unmanifested.
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 Is this? Yes. And then finally avyakta को पुरुष में ग्रहण कर लिया. Is this the quality of consciousness? If this is not, then whatever is there, it's not required to be expressed. So constant understanding of me as the consciousness and me as the gross body, me as the Anandamaya Kosha and me as the Annamaya Kosha. From Annamaya Kosha, slowly going inwards towards the Anandamaya Kosha. This is Chitta Laya Prakriya. Laya, Pralaya, creation and destruction. So entering into the Chitta. This is all that we discussed and we called it Prati Prasava Sadhana. What did we call it?
Prati Prasava Sadhana.
No. Then Sutra number 10 for this. Te Prati Prasvaheyaha Sukshmaha. After understanding the kleshas, there were two kinds of students we saw in yoga. One were yoga rudha, the one who had mastered. For them, to reach to samadhi and to reach to the goal of yoga, that is kaivalya or moksha, was easier. But what to do with the yoga ruksha? The yoga rudha can naturally have it, but yoga ruksha has to take a longer route. And for yoga ruksha, specifically this sadhana was there. What was this sadhana? Pratiprasav sadhana. Each time there are words born, I have a couple of words. I try to make them wait on my tongue. The moment where I ensure the words are not moved out and they are on my tongue, what happens? In that moment, if I observe which is the klesha, pancha klesha, avidya, asmita, raga, dvesh and abhinivesh. Out of these pancha kleshas, which are the ones which are giving birth to these words? If I understand that, if I observe that, I am led to my state of emotions. The entire Chitta Bhumi, Mana. From where is this word? Out of which emotion? This emotion then further taken into Buddhi. Which of the vrittis? Pramana, Viparyaya, Vikalpa, Nidra and Smriti. Out of these 5 vrittis, what are giving birth to this? From these vrittis to Avyakta. So converting the vritti to Pramana, Pramana to Avyakta. What is unmanifested? Neti Neti. Am I this? No, I am not this. Am I this? I am not this. Am I this? I am not this. So applying Neti Neti, from Avyakta we reach to Purusha. This is the straightforward method given for the yoga. Now we will move on to the next sutra.
Ma'am,
Yes.
this example, this process, Chittalaya, can you explain it with an example as to how we can apply it in our daily life? Let's say if you're
Self-explanatory. The words that you have to speak, you start observing those, hold them onto the tongue. The moment you restrain, this happens in the moment when you restrain. So, for a moment, if I try to explain in Hindi, जिस समय में क्रोध आए, every time you feel there is anger, make that heat of anger as what? The fire, Vedic fire, हवन, उसको हवन का क्षण समझिए. और आपकी जो अस्मिता है, आपका जो अहंकार है, उसको हवीर समझिए. Give the oblation. कि स्वयं का जो अहंकार है, my own I-ness, अस्मिता, I am giving in this moment. I'm putting it down. So even if somebody is saying very bad to me, what I'm doing, I'm putting that person on a higher pedestal than I am. The moment I put my ego, I have two options in anger. One is to act by ego. Second is to take that heat, that the moment of anger, how my body is heated. I am reminded when I'm doing swaha in the Vedic fire ceremony also, my body is heated. So Bhagavad Gita says specifically in the 4th chapter, here I will quote the Gita, that in the moment of anger, when you feel the heat and you give the oblation of your own ego, you get the benefit of doing different yagyas. That means the words which were supposed to come out of my mouth, I did not allow them in the moment of anger. I held them on to my tongue with my speech and tried to observe quickly. क्रोध के क्षण में ज्ञान हो जाता है. This is a very beautiful example that in the moment of anger, I realize myself. And how I realize myself? Not what I am, but what I am not. So this is saying, okay, this I am not. The words which my tongue is holding. We seen the narration of the stinking potatoes. All these words, is that me? The words which I'm holding right now? No, this is not me. Then these words taken into the inward, manasa. From where this emotion? Is this emotion me? I'm into anger. Can I? Oh, but I consider myself to be a very good person. Then whatever moment I'm acting, any of the kleshas, avidya, asmita, raga, dvesha, abhinivesh, in that moment, is this me? No. Then taking it further to the vrittis. Out of which vrittis viparyaya? What is viparyaya? Mithya jnana. Maybe I have half knowledge of something in the situation. That's why I am able to respond like this. Then what happens? Once we know the complete picture, we say, oh, sorry, I didn't mean it. I didn't know this was going to happen. So immediately you put it into the category of either mithya jnanam or smriti. Because as children, what happens? We've seen people responding to certain situations in a certain way. So smriti, out of smriti also our response is born. But that may not be the correct response at all. From there, then we further take it to avyakta. What is the nirguna Brahma? Is any of these qualities the qualities of the Purusha, the consciousness? No. None of these are. Therefore, who am I? I am the pure Satchitananda. Therefore, I am not this. So, each time I am facing this challenge, I am trying to understand myself by what I am not. There are two ways you attain Kaivalya. By directly listening in front of the Guru, through Shravana, having the Shravan Sanskara, where Guru takes you to the state of Kaivalya. And second is with the help of scriptures. What is the role of scriptures in our life? To help us understand what we are not. So what we are not, we are understanding with the scripture, and who we are, the Guru is telling us. When both of these come together, we attain the goal of yoga, that is Kaivalya in the state of. This is simply what this sutra says. Next sutra. Dhyana heya
Dhyana heya
astada vrittayaha.
astada vrittayaha.
Dhyana heya astada vrittayaha.
Dhyana heya astada vrittayana.
Let's see the Sanskrit Bhashyam from the text. We will continue from this sutra. Sthita ta na tanu bija bhava upagatanam dhyana heya astada vrittayah kleshanam ya vrittayah stulasthaha kriya yogena tanukrutaha satya prasankhyanena dhyayanena hatavyaha yavata sukshma kruta yavada dagda bija kalpa iti. So we saw two ways. Which were the two ways? Dagda bija. Dagda bija is in the one who is the wise, the liberated one. All of these kleshas have become Dagda bija, like a seed in the land. A burnt seed will never have a crop. So in that state where either there is Dagda bija, avastha, or still there is tanukarana or sukshma or very subtle layer of the kleshas remain. What happens in that case? Let's see. Yathacha vastranam sthulo malah purvah nirdhuyate paschat sukshma yatnena upayena chapayaniyate tatha swalpa pratiksha prakshaha sthulaha vrittayaha kleshanam sukshma astu mahapratiprakshaha iti. So this sutra says that when you wash clothes, any cloth which is having a strong binding of mud, you brush off the gross layer of that. Then the little mud is still remaining there. That you take more effort to wash it. So simply this sutra says that first, yoga's chitta vritti nirodha is that first understanding where what you do? Remove it off at the subtle level. Chitta vritti nirodha and kriya yoga. Kriya yoga removes it as at the gross level. Chitta vritti nirodha is for the yoga rudha, whose chitta shuddhi is already there. The mind is pure, but does not know how to attain samadhi, does not know how to attain moksha. So for that person, chitta vritti nirodha, that means only subtle remain. So chitta vrittis have to be removed. Further we move to 2.1, where we are introduced to kriya yoga. So kriya yoga is this gross removal, because for the yoga ruksha, gross and subtle both impurities remain. So through kriya yoga, we remove the gross impurities. Then what happens? This sutra says that this is known as the state of dhyana, or through this state, you attain the higher levels of dhyana. So in English, if we try to say what happens with the help of this sutra is, the states of mind produced by the kleshas are eliminated in meditation. So this is the time where a person actually starts meditating. When the gross layer is removed. Until the gross layer is there, how will this gross layer be gross understanding that I need to remove? Either you meet a Satpurush, because of the Satpurush you realize, oh, something needs to be changed in me, or there is suffering in life. Either you are suddenly exposed to a Satpurush, or there is extreme suffering. In both these cases, you feel all these years I wanted to change people outside me, but no, I think I should change something in myself. In both of these cases, we see that the kleshas are still present. So at least when the gross layer is removed, a person starts meditating. Therefore, we say dhyana heyastada vattayaha. So dhyana, meditation, heyaha, heya mane nikal dena, eliminated. Tata, what tata? Kleshas. That means that. Kleshas, vrittayaha, changing states of mind. So the states of mind produced by these kleshas are eliminated by meditation. And what we actually do when we wash the clothes, once the gross dirt is removed, we try to fine tune and see, oh, subtle layers, where all it remains, how much of it remains. So this sutra says, now Yoga Ruksha has removed the gross layer, has understood the kleshas. Without understanding the kleshas, would not be able to remove them. Therefore, Kriya Yoga, the goal, Kriya Yoga, that is, removing of the entire gross level has been attained. Therefore, this seeker, this sadhak can now sit and attain different levels of meditation, dhyana. Take a moment, simply observe this verse. I actually quote this many times, that when we meet suffering, it's actually like before even washing the cloth, you try to, in a very hard way, try to dust it, because it's time for cleaning. So that's the time if we meet suffering, that's actually just us trying to, giving a very hard, strong push to remove off the Chittamala. Because Ishvara is able to see that this person is so close to attaining moksha. Where is this person caught in life? It's time to give a strong push, a strong, I would say, you just simply take the cloth and you try to, with all your might, give it a strong 2-3 pushes and pulls in different ways. So you do all of that. And after that, we realize that something was there on us and that is the cross layer which is removed by the understanding of kleshas which Sage Patanjali has given us till Sutra number 11. Now, since we know what these kleshas are, it's very easy for us to get to subtle, that is Chitta Vritti Nirodha, because each vritti is born through kleshas. The mother of vrittis is avidya. Remove avidya, the kleshas, because they come in a bundle. All these come in a bundle. Avidya, asmita, raga, dvesh, and abhinivesh. So if avidya is removed, all of these go together. Now the seeker becomes yoga ruksha to yoga rudha. And why we are discussing about the first level of seeker, you recall? We saw that this seeker was not capable at the level of the body, but had a very sharp mind and a very pure chitta. Therefore, asanas are not mentioned here. Directly, dhyana is mentioned. Just make a note, write it with a pencil. This is for the seeker who cannot go ahead with any kind of practice of asanas. Sharir asadhya hai. There is no sharir samarthya. So some people we see at the physical level, they have some kind of disability, specially challenged, but the mind highly sattvic, pure, and we have taken the example of Stephen Hawking in this case. So for this person, now till now Ashtanga Yoga, 8 limbs of yoga have not been introduced directly. Dhyana has been mentioned for this kind of seeker. Now we move on to the next sutra. Klesha Mulaha
Kleshamulaha
Karmashayo
Karmashayo
Drishta Adrishta
Drishta Adrishta
Janma Vedaniyaha
Janma
Vedan Dahina
Klesha Mulaha
Klesha Mulaha
Karmashayo
Karmashayo
Drishta Adrishta
Drishta
Drishta
Janma Vedaniyaha.
Janma Vedaniyaha.
This very sutra says that this talk of karmas, these kleshas, how do they make our life? Vedaniyaha. We are unable to get through life. Vedaniyaha is observed in this case. Kleshaha, impediments. Mulaha, root. Kleshaha, the impediments. Avidya, asmita, raga, dvesha, abhinivesh. Mulaha, the root of even these kleshas. Are what? Karmas, actions. Karmas, that is the nitya karma, whatever that I am doing. Asaya, deposited or stopped. Drishta, seen, and adrishta, unseen. Janma, birth. Vedaniyaha is experienced. So child, in the moment when the child is born, for all the pain that is to come, cries in that moment. Which means a newborn has two kinds of understandings of drishta karma and adrishta karma in that moment. So we have 4 kinds of karma in total. Sanchita, that is collected. It's not part of the text. I will share you an additional session where you will understand more about karma. So Sanchita karma, for all different lives, the karma that we have collected, that is known as Sanchita karma. Then out of the total Sanchita karma, some good karma and some bad karma is reserved for this present life. This is known as destined karma or prarabdha karma. Destiny, whom you will be born to, whom will you be married to, what kind of children you will have, in what age, what will happen, what will be your day of the death. So the moment when you are born, in that moment, how you are going to die is also recorded. Everybody is going to die. Just the way that they meet death is different. So drishta, adrishta. Throughout the life, a person goes through both these karmic effects. Karmic phala, which is being seen, and adrishta. Adrishta means sometimes we say, I didn't do this, but still why I'm suffering. Adrishta means it's coming from the sanchita, from the past lives. So the moment we feel, I have not done anything wrong in this life, for sure, but still I'm going through this. In that moment, we have to be kurmangani, inward like a tortoise. Allow that moment to pass. Allow that karma to be phalibhut. Don't allow anybody to interfere in that, because again you'll have to take another birth to fructify that. So drishta and adrishta term has been opened. This is a very important sutra. We will take it only part today, and part we will take it in the next class. If you have any questions, you can ask. We will be pausing here for today.
G, sorry, can you explain again what is Vedaniyaha? Vedaniyaha.
Painful. Vedaniyaha, painful.
Thank you.
Vedaniyaha, painful and also experienced. Painfully experienced. You can write painfully experienced.
Ma'am, you talk about gross layer. What exactly you mean about gross layer? Like how do we separate that from our daily, what gross layer, like what comes in, what all comes in gross layer?
The gross layer or heavy layer, which means you making a shift in your lifestyle. All these years, your senses were extroverted. Bhogamay. From bhoga to yoga. So all my five senses in different ways were enjoying externally. This when I do inward, I realize, oh, I must do my daily nitya sadhana. And sadhana in three ways. For tamas, we do upasana. For rajas, we do karma kanda or karma yoga. And for sattva, jnana kanda or study of scriptures. So only doing upasana or simply doing my daily one japamala is not sufficient. Only doing karma kanda, that is also not sufficient. And only doing jnana, we are also not adhikari at that level. So all these three, when you decide to do, that I am bringing about a change in my life, I will be living a yogic way of life. This is removal of the gross impurities, Kriya Yoga. So 2.1 is removal of gross impurities, which means which are seen at the level, which you feel you have a control on. And some impurities you don't have a direct control on. You need to reflect a lot on those. Those are subtle or tanu, sukshma.
Thank you.
Lisa ji, have you made notes? Anything?
For this
If there
class,
is anything you, yes, if you do not understand,
no, now it's, I think is everything clear, but every time I go through again and I discover that I don't understand something just when I study again.
that's nice. That is the beauty of manana. When you listen from the Guru, Shravana, next step is manana, listening to it so many times that it gives me the hidden meaning which is revealed to me. That is the beauty of manana. I get, are you able to understand anything that you have not followed?
Same as Lisa G. I'm going through again and again and again.
Okay. Is there, if there's anything that you not understand because you've just recently joined us, just write to me after the class.
Okay, thank you.
I have a question. Ma'am, the latency of our accumulated karma or prarabdha karma for this, I'm assuming there's no methods of dissolving them apart from just observing them and continuing through. What happens as due to the karmic transactions that are to be presented, where one has to go through certain things that they know. How do I say this? Let me think about this and I'll write it to you because I'm struggling to formulate
Or
it right.
let me give an example. Even the greatest of yogis sometimes have different adhyatmika dukkha, different disease. So what is that? In this life, whatever they worked hard for, okay, that with that help they attained mukti. That means there is no next birth. But what about the prarabdha karma which was waiting to fructify? Until that prarabdha karma is there, they continue to live even after mukti. So it's like you switch off the fan, but the fan still moves. We've taken this example. For 1 minute, the speed of the fan will slow down. So such a yogi will not have adi daivika and adi bhautika dukkha at times, which means external suffering will become less, but prarabdha, which next life is not there. But what about the past lives which has come? So even a person, even if we are in Shastra Adhyayan, it simply shields us from what we are to face and guarantees where we go next. Either two options, either we attain moksha, because yoga is a moksha shastra. Out of the Shadadarshan, 6 philosophical systems, any text you pick, it will take you to moksha. You need not study all the 6. But if you are able to increase your adhikaritva, you can definitely go beyond yoga and also see what is in Vedanta, Advaita and so on. So since this is a moksha shastra, only study of Patanjali's Yoga Sutra is also guaranteeing moksha to you. So if we live a yogic life, what is happening? Prarabdha will continue. We living itself is our prarabdha being worked out. What is the sign? समय नहीं है, समय लग रहा है क्योंकि गति प्रारब्ध की है. There is no time. Understand, time is an illusion. It is the working of our prarabdha that makes us feel that there is time. In reality, there is no time as per प्रारब्ध की गति को हम समय समझ रहे हैं. The speed of the destiny, destined karmas, we are trying to understand it as time. But that's not true. There is no understanding of time as per the Yoga Sutras. There is the speed, either slow or fast, of the prarabdha karma. Therefore, suffering feels, oh, I was in such a great time, I was in suffering. And when it's happiness, it came today, tomorrow it's gone. Where did it go? So, prarabdha ki gati. Whatever I have aversion, dvesha, it feels very long to me. And whatever I have raga or attachment, it gets over quickly. Again, I want to have the same experience. This is the understanding. We will conclude here for today. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Sukha Shanti. Gently bow your head down. Feel grateful for this learning. Thanks Sage Patanjali for making this knowledge available to us. Thank all your gurus. Thank yourself for choosing this path. When you're ready, gently lift your head up, open your eyes, extend your hands. Namaskaram, Pranam, Hari Om. We meet again tomorrow.
Hari Om.